In the pet food aisle, every puppy food bag looks premium, smiling puppies on the front. Words like wholesome, balanced, and natural printed across the packaging. But once you dig past the label, what's actually inside many of these bags is far more disturbing. I investigated 8 of the most popular puppy food brands sold across the US and found that most of them are cutting corners with your puppy's health in ways that are genuinely shocking. Cheap fillers, recalled ingredients, artificial dyes linked to tumors. And the worst part, these are products specifically marketed for growing puppies, the animals that need the highest quality nutrition of their entire lives. Puppies are not small adult dogs. Their brains, their bones, and their organs are all developing simultaneously during the first year of life. The nutrients and the toxins they consume during that window don't just affect how they feel this week, they shape the dog your puppy becomes permanently. Feeding low-quality filler food during the most critical growth window of a dog's life causes damage that simply cannot be reversed. Cheap nutrition during puppyhood dramatically increases the risk of hip dysplasia, joint problems, and developmental disorders, conditions that stay with your dog for their entire life. And yet, millions of puppies are eating these brands every single day. I found 2 puppy food brands that actually hold up to scrutiny with clean ingredients, transparent sourcing, and no recalls. But first, let's go through the brands you need to keep away from your puppy's bowl. Number 8. Gravy Train Puppy. Gravy Train is one of the most recognizable names on the budget pet food shelf. The packaging looks cheerful, the price point looks appealing. But the history behind this brand is one of the most disturbing stories in the entire pet food industry. In 2018, Gravy Train dog food was recalled after a laboratory test confirmed the presence of pentobarbital inside the product. Pentobarbital is the chemical drug used by veterinary clinics and animal shelters to humanely euthanize animals. Its presence inside a commercial dog food product raises a deeply uncomfortable question about what exactly ends up in the rendering process that creates meat meals used in cheap pet food. The FDA confirmed the recall. Gravy Train's manufacturer pulled product off shelves, and then after the controversy faded, Gravy Train quietly returned to store shelves. Beyond the recall, the ingredient list on a bag of Gravy Train puppy reads like a checklist of everything you want to avoid in a puppy food formula. Soy, wheat middlings, a byproduct considered floor sweepings from the grain milling process. BHA, preservatives, a synthetic chemical the World Health Organization has listed as a possible human carcinogen. Caramel color. Titanium dioxide, a coloring agent. And at the top of the ingredient list, where the primary protein source should be, there is no named quality meat, no deboned chicken, no salmon, no beef. A puppy's developing body needs real bioavailable animal protein to build muscle, produce enzymes, and support organ growth. What Gravy Train offers instead is a formula built around cheap plant-based fillers with artificial additives. At around 70 cents per pound, Gravy Train is one of the cheapest products on the pet food shelf, and unfortunately that low price reflects exactly what's inside the bag. Number 7. Cal-Can Puppy. Cal-Can has been in the pet food market for decades, and the brand still appears on shelves in stores across the country. But Cal-Can Puppy's formula has a fundamental problem that starts at the very first ingredient: corn, then meat byproducts. Meat byproducts are the parts of an animal not typically used for human food: organs, bones, blood, and sometimes material of inconsistent and unverifiable origin. Unlike named proteins such as deboned chicken or salmon, meat byproducts carry no guarantee of species, quality, or digestibility. For a growing puppy whose digestive system is still developing, the difference between a named animal protein and an anonymous byproduct is significant. There is no quality named protein source anywhere in Cal-Can's formula. The entire nutritional base of this puppy food rests on corn and byproducts, 2 of the lowest quality foundations a pet food formulator can choose. The safety record is equally concerning. In the past 5 years, close to 69 million pounds of kibble have been recalled from brands in this same product category for reasons ranging from contamination to elevated nutrient levels that exceed safe limits for puppies. At around 80 cents per pound, Cal-Can Puppy positions itself as budget-friendly. But what your puppy's developing body receives in return for that low price point is a protein source that is impossible to verify and a formula with corn as its foundation. Number 6. Alpo Puppy. Alpo is owned by Nestlé Purina, one of the largest pet food corporations in the world. The brand has been in American homes for generations. The name feels familiar. trustworthy even. But the actual formula inside a bag of Alpo puppy dry dog food tells a very different story. Alpo's dry formula contains just 21% protein. That figure is below the market average for puppy food, which is particularly problematic because puppies require significantly higher protein levels than adult dogs to support the rapid tissue and organ development happening throughout their first year. More importantly, the protein that Alpo does contain is not primarily sourced from meat. The formula relies heavily on soy and corn as its protein contributors, plant-based sources that carry a fundamentally different amino acid profile than animal-based protein. Dogs have evolved as omnivores with a strong dietary lean toward animal protein. The amino acids found in animal muscle tissue, particularly taurine and L-carnitine, are critical for cardiac health and development in young dogs. Plant proteins simply do not deliver the same nutritional outcome. Alpo has also been recalled once for melamine contamination, a chemical compound used in plastics and fertilizers that was found in pet food during a major industry-wide scandal that resulted in thousands of pet deaths. At 90 cents per pound, Alpo sits slightly above the cheapest options on the shelf, but delivers a below-average formula that asks your puppy's developing body to work with inadequate protein and the wrong protein sources. Number 5. Pedigree Puppy. Pedigree is arguably the most recognizable puppy food brand in the world. You see it in every supermarket, every corner store. You see it in television adverts. You see the logo on the bags stacked high in the pet aisle of every major retailer. But look at the actual ingredient list on a bag of Pedigree Puppy, and the very first thing printed there is not chicken, it's not fish, it's not beef, it's ground whole grain corn. Corn is the primary ingredient, the ingredient present in the largest quantity by weight in Pedigree Puppy, a product marketed specifically for growing puppies with elevated nutritional needs. Independent testing has also confirmed that Pedigree products contain pig hair, a signal that the byproduct material used in formulation includes extremely low-grade rendering inputs. And then there are the artificial colors: red 40, yellow 5, and blue 2. These are synthetic petroleum-derived dyes added to kibble purely for visual appearance because your puppy is not choosing their food based on color. These dyes serve no nutritional function. They are there for the owner's perception of the product. Red 40 and yellow 5 have been linked in research studies to hypersensitivity reactions and tumor development. Blue 2 has been associated in animal studies with increased risk of brain tumors. These are the dyes being baked into every single piece of kibble that a growing puppy consumes multiple times per day, every day, during the most biologically sensitive period of their life. Pedigree Puppy costs around $1 per pound, placing it firmly in the mid-budget category. The price point sounds reasonable. The brand recognition sounds reassuring. But what's actually inside the bag is not something any puppy's developing body should be consuming. Number 4. Purina Beneful Healthy Puppy. Purina Beneful Healthy Puppy is positioned in the market as a step up from basic budget food, a healthy option for growing dogs. The word healthy is printed directly on the bag, but the ingredient list inside tells a story that directly contradicts that marketing language. The top 5 ingredients across the Beneful range include whole grain corn, whole grain wheat, barley, soybean meal, and chicken byproduct meal. Grain and plant matter completely dominate the formula. Chicken appears but as a byproduct meal, not a named quality cut of meat. Soybean meal, whole grain corn, whole grain wheat, and barley are cheap agricultural commodities used as filler to bulk up the total weight of the kibble at minimal manufacturing cost. In 2015, a class action lawsuit was filed against Purina, alleging that Beneful had caused illness and death in thousands of dogs. The lawsuit cited liver damage, internal bleeding, kidney failure, and multiple organ dysfunction. Purina disputed the claims. The case was eventually settled. But the sheer volume of owner reports that formed the basis of that lawsuit, thousands of sick and dying dogs across the country, points to a product that generated one of the largest waves of consumer complaints in the history of pet food. At around $1.60 per pound, Beneful Healthy Puppy is priced well above the true budget options. Your puppy deserves better than a bag that says healthy on the front and delivers corn, wheat, soy, and byproducts on the inside. Number 3. Caesar Puppy. Caesar is positioned as a premium puppy food. The packaging looks expensive. The price at around $3.50 per pound reflects a premium tier product. It sits on the shelf next to genuinely high-quality options in the pet food aisle, but the ingredient list inside Caesar Puppy wet food does not match its price tag or its premium image. Meat byproducts appear prominently in the formula. Whole grain corn follows. Artificial colors are included, the same synthetic dyes found in budget kibble, now packaged inside a premium-priced product. Meat byproducts in a $3.50 per pound product is simply not acceptable. At that price point, a manufacturer can absolutely afford to use deboned, named meat as the primary protein source. Choosing not to, and instead using byproducts alongside artificial colors, signals that the premium pricing is built around the brand image, not the formula quality. For puppies specifically, this matters enormously. Byproducts and artificial additives have been linked to digestive problems and allergic reactions in dogs. Corn as a base ingredient adds caloric bulk without the targeted amino acid profile that a growing puppy's organs and tissues require. Caesar Puppy is priced like a premium product and delivers grocery store quality ingredients. Your puppy's developing body is paying the cost for a brand premium that doesn't exist in the bowl. Now for the two brands that actually pass. Number 2, Merrick Puppy. Merrick is a genuinely different product from every brand listed above. Open the bag and the first ingredient is deboned chicken, real named identifiable animal protein from a specific part of a specific animal. That matters. It means you know exactly what protein your puppy is eating. It means the amino acid profile is verifiable. It means the nutritional claims on the bag are backed by an ingredient that actually delivers them. Merrick's grain-free puppy formula builds on that deboned chicken base with sweet potatoes and fish oil, two ingredients that support the sustained energy levels puppies need and provide omega-3 fatty acids critical for brain development and joint health. There are no artificial additives anywhere in the Merrick Puppy formula. No artificial colors, no synthetic preservatives, no chemical dyes. Everything in the ingredient list is there for a nutritional reason, not for shelf stability or visual appeal. At around $3.20 per pound, Merrick Puppy is priced comparably to Caesar but delivers a genuinely superior formula. The difference between buying Caesar and buying Merrick at a similar price point is the difference between giving your puppy byproducts an artificial color versus giving your puppy deboned chicken and fish oil. Number 1, Open Farm Puppy. Open Farm is the most transparent puppy food brand in this entire investigation. On their website, Open Farm publishes the farms their ingredients come from, the fisheries their fish oil is sourced from, and the specific suppliers behind each core ingredient. That level of supply chain transparency is almost unheard of in the commercial pet food industry, and it matters because it means there is nowhere to hide. Open Farm holds certified humane sourcing credentials. The animals whose meat goes into Open Farm products are raised without antibiotics, without added hormones, and in conditions that meet independently verified welfare standards. The formula itself uses human-grade quality ingredients formulated specifically around the developmental needs of puppies, the elevated protein requirements, the omega fatty acid ratios that support neurological development, the calcium and phosphorus balance that supports healthy bone formation. There are no artificial ingredients anywhere in the formulation, no recall history, no class action lawsuit, no pentobarbital. At around $4.50 per pound, Open Farm Puppy is the most expensive product on this list. But you're not paying for a brand name or a marketing campaign. You're paying for a transparent supply chain, a certified humane sourcing standard, a formula with no history of recalls, and human-grade ingredients built around what a growing puppy actually needs. During the most critical developmental window of their life, the puppy you bring home trusts you completely with every decision you make on their behalf, including what goes in their bowl. Most of the brands on the shelf are counting on you not reading the ingredient list carefully. Now you know exactly what to look for.